is just fantastic.
Hello everyone, sorry we're a bit stripped back, sorry we're doing this topic as well. I was late getting back from Norwich, where I went and saw Fellowship, Dominum and Gloryhammer. It was a great evening. I bought some swag, and I brought back the remainder of my whiskey that I had had hidden there for about a week. Had to be hidden, because my friend cannot be trusted. I know you're listening. If you licked any of those bottles, I'm going to be very, very upset with you. We're going to be looking at a recent live stream from Chantel, and there are a few things I want to highlight first. Firstly, her viewership retention now is diminishing massively. At her what can be considered peak, she'd get over 1,000 viewers. More recent streams are fluctuating between 7 and 300. And let's not talk about the game live streams where she barely hits her target for the stream and is getting even less views because no one wants to watch her play video games because she's terrible at them. She gets more than I do, I know. Insert the obligatory, yeah, but I'm on Twitch later, I don't care. Plain trucking. In the case of Chantel, she is losing viewership, she is losing her audience, she's reneged on all her plans for the year. So it seems only fitting that we go through what she's been up to on a more recent stream where some of her delusions and lies and typical BS come to the surface.
Yeah, my last meal till tomorrow.
When your meal roughly has the caloric intake of a typical person for one day, this could well be your last meal, I could believe it, but that does tell me, based on how big your meals are, you're eating between 4,000 and 6,000 calories a day. Chantel has well and truly given up on her diet. She has basically stopped with the no junk food thing. She's also stopped with the no drama part as well. She looks like she's due for a blow up, we discussed it last week, and I covered it on a stream on, I think, Saturday. She looks like she's gearing up to rage at her haters, and some of that can be demonstrated in this content of hers, that is, from her live stream, because you can tell there are tics, as if the butcher's nails are digging further into parts of the brain that no longer exist.
What's with that? It's like a whole bunch of them have that voice. What the hell? I saw this on, I think it was a Lolcow Live clip. There was this woman that came on. She was like, yeah, I think that you guys should, I'd like to come on and talk about the gore world death fats. Like, ma'am, I'd rather be a death fat than look like 5 miles of rough road and sound like the friggin' Crypt Keeper, thank you very much.
I like that Chantel is enough of a tryhard to try and think of suitable retorts to people she doesn't know, whilst also consuming the content for a channel she's essentially ostracized from because she blew a chance to be on there, on a more permanent basis or recurring role, where she would benefit from residual views.
No offense, but where do these people come off hating on fat people just because they're fat? Please, give me a break. Well, it's true. She didn't look too healthy herself. I'm just saying. They have issues with fat people like it's demented. Get a friggin' mirror.
The thing with Lolcow Live, and that's a part of interest you should probably consider, is that Keemstar is trying to set up another fat camp, as it were, to try and help those that are super morbidly obese get back into shape. Now for you, you'd have to do it while on a visa run, or perhaps when, you decide to give up on this nonsensical idea of a life you have. I spend more of my time alone than you do, yet my life is more fulfilling and fulfilled than yours. Because you live and breathe to be a live streamer. That's all you've got. And to eat. To claim you're going to do things to better yourself whilst doing nothing. That fat camp could well lead to reprogramming in your mind, but you are at this point too old to actually impact meaningful change within yourself. At some point you should just concede defeat and accept defeat. But since it's not going to rejuvenate the views on your channel, a channel that has never really seen much in the way of large views in the first place unless you're pissing everyone off, it seems like you're in a bit of a catch-22.
I have a bonus burger.
It's become a running gag with virtually every single one of Chantel's mukbangs that she has an extra sandwich hidden somewhere. Because the table is so close to the camera, or the camera is angled to look so tight within the frame that she creates, it's often believed next to the rubbish bag there is something by her feet. This is merely confirmation of it, but there's going to be some mental gymnastics applied.
But only, and you can look this up on Talabat yourself, if you order, there's a combo you can order that comes with a bonus burger. But I'm going to save it for Salah, but he says he doesn't want it.
You may have noticed the first video clip I showed you involved a lot more food. Yeah, Chantel eats that bonus burger. Mental gymnastics of, oh, well, I'll give it to Salah, but he doesn't want it. But it's food, it's there, it's, ooh, I need it in my belly.
But I really shouldn't eat it. It's a bonus cheeseburger. Beautiful Zach.
You know your addiction has gone too far when you know it's for somebody else, they don't want it, you don't want to waste it, but you need it. Because you've paid for it, you want it. The mentality is, well, waste not, want not, right? In the case of somebody like Chantal who is super morbidly obese, it should definitely be a case of, this needs to be removed from my sight because the temptation is too high and I lack the fortitude, the mental strength, the iron will to simply do the right thing for myself.
Sam's Bar Lounge. Yeah, it happened to Dee, but exactly what he did, I said happened to me too. So, like, you know what I mean? Like,
it was inevitable that Chantal would yet again bring up somebody who should remain a part of the irrelevance in her life. When your viewership is diminishing massively, the best way to go about it is to continually revise the history that is known by everyone by trying to make it seem like you are a victim of DV on par with that of everyone else he has harmed. A person I can't name, but a person we know that has on stream harmed Dee, the Grey, but we know he has harmed others, involved in revenge PORN as well. It gets kind of bad, really. But you really wish to insert yourself, yet you're the same person who withdrew the charges, and when you tried to put them back, you found out you couldn't. But when your viewership like this is tanking, you need to insert this, because you have nothing else to offer the live space. You do regular live streaming where you just sit there and you talk to your chat. That's what you do. You wait for conversation to come by or for donations. You really do need to start planning your streams a bit better to make them into shows. If you can do that, maintain conversation, be informed on subjects you wish to speak on, people are going to be less inclined to think of you as an ill-informed contrarian moron who has a plastic interpretation of virtually everything she thinks to put her opinion on, because you're ill-informed and you can't seem to hold structure well when under pressure.
for some reason when I eat a fast food meal, I get so thirsty and I get a headache. What does that tell you?
It tells us one of many things. Your body is rebelling against the pressure you place upon it because you refuse to address the core problem that leads you to go down the route of fast food. It tells us your health is diminishing, deteriorating at an alarming rate. It'll be a race to the bottom, your fupa or your spine. It tells us that perhaps a part of your subconscious is actually actively involved in telling you, please stop. It tells us that there are molecules in your body trying to escape you because they want nothing to do with this train wreck of an existence. I can keep making things up, but I think the obvious one is your body's rejecting what you're doing to it because it's not taking in the nutrients it needs. The headache could be stress related, it could be tension based. It could be because you're not taking in what your body needs to survive. It doesn't need fat, just in case you were wondering. Now there is another part of Chantal's streaming that doesn't get spoken of much, but understandably so. And that is the complete lack of Salah, her husband. And there's a reason why. He vaguely features from time to time, but he doesn't really do a whole lot. There's not much he can add to the content. He's, well, kind of just stuck there, really. He is her Uber Eats, her DoorDash, her Deliveroo. He's basically the sad sack who goes and gets the munch. But when he does feature, he's off camera, and he usually plays his keyboard, where he plays the exact same thing over and over again. Now, I understand practice makes perfect, and sometimes we like to take it and improve upon, jam out to it. Now, I don't know if it's meant to be Beverly Hill Cop or Crazy Frog, because it's the same jingle, but that's basically what he plays. I'm not going to hate on someone playing the keyboard, by the way, but it's interesting to see when Chantal starts digging something, and you see it on the screen now, where you have been for a little while anyway, how she gets into it. But man, she turns that off fast. It hits hard, hits fast, and she's instantly bored and moves on, as if some kind of second-hand embarrassment has kicked in. The realization that perhaps she's a little bit ashamed. I do wonder if Salah feels the same way.
You're handsome.
I don't like to be famous.
You don't like to be famous. Don't get duck lips.
So earlier on I mentioned the Phasmophobia live streaming. She does the gaming thing, and it's not really her thing, but she still gets views. Can't be faulted. She gets 10 times what I get. Although I'm not entirely convinced they're there to watch her do well. I think they're there to watch her suffer. Not for the conversation either. She had a donation goal for this stream. She did not hit the goal for the stream. Although I think she may have set it a bit higher because in this first image here, ignoring the viewership because it's still more than what I get, she had 2 $10 donations and her goal wasn't being hit. Which tells me she set the goal of 5 super chats, but those 5 super chats are quite high up. Somebody's expecting a bit too much. Anime sucks, cope and sneeze. We should move to Africa. And the second one, we'd be the cutest couple. Al Sultan Salah did not appreciate this by saying, this is your last warning. If you ever said anything flirty, you would be blocked and banned from this channel forever. Do we understand each other? Now, it turns out in the chat you also noticed Teardrop warning this user as well, called Anime Sucks, Cope and Sneed, with Salah saying thank you to the user Teardrop. Anime Sucks was heartbroken and said, I feel my heart ripping apart and unironically on my way to go purchase drugs. Reply from Teardrop, Anime, you will be fine. Interestingly though, when somebody else donated through Super Chat £10, the goal suddenly moved. Bit confused on that. I would assume it's based on currency, because the first two are dollar based. Either way, it tickled me to no end that on a game stream where Chantal has her goal so high, she didn't do so well, and she was being, quote, flirted with, end quote, by a Biza who was giving her money. Then again, wasn't somebody giving her like $100 3 separate times in one stream once? Is this the same person? This is the level of content we get from Chantal these days. I don't think she knows what she wants to be or what she wants to do. My end of year review on her is going to be cancer, I'm sure. But it's going to be a ball ache, that kind of cancer, I think. So just before I finish, might do a video on Hassan Piker tomorrow. Might do. Not entirely sure just yet. It's been very quiet for me in the online space, so one does have to, well, pay attention a bit better. I am streaming on Twitch. Hope to see you there. If not, have a wonderful day. Thank you all for listening.